Everton, Merseyside derby coming up, followed by Spurs. That's a big run of fixtures for them. And, I feel sorry for our Bry. We love him. Because he looks knackered, doesn't he? He just needs a big hug from someone. Maybe we can just go and give him a group hug. He just needs it. Because he's got a lot of injuries, a lot of things to cope with. Had difficult this season with Palace coming up and playing some good stuff and chipping away, picking up the points and not going not blowing teams away or anything, but they're just picking up these little points here and there that are going to serve them really well. And it means the likes of Everton are going to potentially start getting cast adrift at the bottom. But
because again, we've talked about the January transfer window, haven't we? But it's to do with if Everton sort themselves out, if they actually, if there's any money to be had, because very famously, Everton are playing with 50p in a Mars bar to try and get some players. Like it's hard. It's really, really hard, and you can see there's been a lot of discourse online, as always, with people saying. I felt quite offended, even though we don't know our Brian, but friend of the podcast. Someone called him an oxygen thief for taking up that place, and I was like, you can't. He's literally doing everything he can with what he has. He's not some of the managers that we can say, but to blame him for the team and and it's yes, he picks the team, but he has a very small pool to pick from. It's not as if he's leaving internationals on the bench. It's not as if he's, and I just thought
there's no baffling decision in there or anything, is there? You think you look at it, you think that's ridiculous?
No, the only one you could possibly argue is maybe Maloli getting a few more starts. But even then, it's not a huge thing. She's come on, she makes an impact, It's not as if she's not playing. So yeah, I think people kind of need to take a step back from it and go, hang on, this is a situation we're in. Yes, we want to be winning more, but ultimately, they're stuck, aren't they, at the moment until the club sort themselves out?
I genuinely think Brian Sørenson is the type of manager who deserves a big job.
He deserves everything in the world.
Obviously, in the men's game, we see the situations where you get people who are successful at small clubs and then they go to big clubs and for whatever reason they can't handle it. I think Brian Sørenson is the exact opposite of that. I think if Man United sacked Mark Skinner, they could do a lot worse than Brian Sørenson. And the sad thing is that if they did, his Man United fans would tear him to shreds because they'd only see the results. Because I think the women's game has the same problem, possibly even more so than the men's game, because you've got a lot of fans who are newer, perhaps. They literally just see the results. So they'll look at Everton and go, oh, Everton are shit. They'll look at, the work they go, oh, Everton have lost again, Everton are rubbish. And not see even the nuance of, well, Brian Sorenson has done this with, like you say, 50p in a Mars bar, and if he's lucky, he gets Skittles.
Yeah, you need to look at that big picture, don't you? Or else, if you look at results, it hasn't gone well for them. But at the end of the day, what more can Bill Bry do?
Don't send him to Man United. Come on, don't do that.
Job at Arsenal going. Reckon he'll.
Imagine if Brian Sørenson went to Arsenal, I'd like Arsenal. Genuinely, that's the level I would.
In fact, we'd get an Arsenal shirt with Sorenson on the back.
Genuinely, because if he. But the sad thing is, I think he'd have the problem where he's perhaps not being considered for those jobs because, again, the short-term thinking and the short-sightedness of women's football and the worry that if Brian Sørenson is named as Arsenal manager, you'll just get, I don't know, your 14-year-old Arsenal fan who is, Beth Mead fan 1 on Twitter or whatever. Or Russo's Mead or whatever. Honestly, all the names are just a combination of players. We'll be on there ranting about it, and then that'll get retweeted by 47 other people in private chats, and all of a sudden there's graffiti Sorenson out before he's even got into the team. And he deserves a chance like that. Brian Sørenson could be transformative for a club like Manchester United or Arsenal.
Yeah.
And
because imagine what he could do with the money and the support and the staff and the everything he doesn't currently have.
And Tony's there saying they buy a boatload of Danish players. I don't think they would. I think they have at Everton because Sorenson has worked with the market he's got. But if you give Brian Sorenson access to the level of scouting and funding and attractiveness, if you like, of a club like Manchester United or Arsenal, then he's going to go and sell his vision to, I don't know, Stina Blackstenius, or he's going to go and sell his vision to Jennifer Falk, who is a very, very good player who's been linked with the WSL in January and is going to Spurs. And I think it's just sad the way that he's being underutilized at Everton or effectively trying to stay in the WSL with one hand behind his back.
Yeah. No, it's hard. There's a lot of pressure on him, but yeah, the clubs could do a hell of a lot worse, couldn't they?
There you go, Sam. You can clip that bit up. 2 minutes to 2 minutes 15. Boy, Brian Sorenson deserves a big job. There we go. Singing his praises. Ready to